I'm Paul Rodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. I'm drinking instant coffee. It's not that good. So almost 8 o'clock at night. You know, I did that video called Poor Guy. The guy sent me a message on my machine. Major insult. You know. And I got a comment on a video about how, or it was a personal message, I can't remember, about if somebody, if you spend 15 minutes with somebody and you feel like you lost a quart of plasma, then you need that person like a hole in the head. And he said, this guy knows a lot about a hole in the head, because the guy actually killed his ex-wife with a pistol, shot her in the head while playing William Tell when they were drunk. That's not a good thing to do. But this guy, I known him for, oh my God, I've known this guy for about probably more than 20 years. And the guy steadily going down, down, down. He's burned out everybody. There was a guy that's known him longer than I have, quite a bit longer than I have, was telling another guy that's known him longer than I have that he just burned everybody out. He just burned everybody. He just burned people out, you know. Burned me out. I mean, I sat with this guy for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, talking to him about his suicide. Thinking about suicide, you know. Fuck. And he insulted me. I mean, really strong insult on the phone, on my message machine. I'd seen him in town at the coffee shop, and then he called me at my house knowing that I wasn't here. I mean, this is my assumption, you know. Knowing that I'm not here, because I always answer the phone when somebody calls. I'm not one of those people that doesn't answer the phone. You know, I don't like those kind of people. They screen their calls. Oh, who's that? You know, I always answer my phone if I'm home. Always. Because I think it's rude if I don't. Now I'm not putting a curse on you. So whoever you are thinking, oh well, I screen my calls, I'm not putting any trip on you. Okay? I don't care if you answer your phone or not. It's your business. It's your phone. It's your house. Somebody calls you. You don't want to speak to them. Don't speak to them. I always answer my phone. That's just the way it is. But the guy calls and leaves this insulting message on my answering machine, knowing that I'm not home. The guy's ill. He's mentally ill. And I can't just tell the guy to go to hell, because I've known him for so long. You know, and I remember the good times with this guy. And now he's in a world of hurt. And I mean, I've tried to help the guy. I've spent I don't know how many freaking hours on the phone with him listening to him. He talks about his suicide. tried to give him ideas. You need to get into drug rehab. No, he doesn't want to get into drug rehab. I have different people. See, I'm the kind of person that I cannot throw somebody under the fucking bus. I just can't do it. Some people, they don't have a problem. Fuck you. I'm not that way. I don't do that. I thought, I don't like that feeling, so I'm not gonna put that feeling on anybody else. I'm not. So I put myself in a situation that most people wouldn't put up with. They just wouldn't put up with it. They would just say, you know what? I've tried for all these years. I've listened to you. Like that guy said, if you listen to somebody for 15 minutes and you feel like you've given a quart of plasma, you need that person like a hole in the head. I've given this guy freaking gallons upon gallons upon gallons of plasma. His own mother and brother don't speak to him. I mean, the guy's fucked up. He's fucked up. And I think, well, the reason he's fucked up is because he fucked himself up by taking smart drugs. A buddy of mine told me that he thinks that he went over the deep end when he started taking OxyContin. But whatever it is, he's over the deep end now. He's not getting close to the cliff. He's heading straight down. Now maybe he'll sprout wings and, just before he crashes, he'll zoom out and he won't crash. Or maybe the fall is going to be so far that he'll die of old age before he hits. But he's going down. He's already over the edge. Poor fucker. And I'm thinking, what am I going to say to him next time I see him? Just ignore him? The guy insults me on the phone, on my message machine. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. But what do you say to people that are nuts? I mean, how do you react to them? I mean, they're nuts. They don't know they're nuts. They think they're okay. Even people that he gives money to at the grocery store and at the shoe store and every other place he goes to don't want him around. They don't even want the guy's money. They just want him gone. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He has a fight with people at the freaking at the deli. I mean, the guy is just too fucking much. But I can't throw him under the fucking bus. Can't do it. It's not my personality. My personality is to try to give people, because the bottom line is if Jesus can continue to give me a break, who am I not to give somebody a break? I mean, I got to. I can't throw somebody under the bus. I just can't do it. Won't do it. I'll let him continue to be who he is and try to, I think it was the Dalai Lama said, we're here on earth to help people, but at least don't hurt them. Something to that effect. So I'm not gonna, talk trash behind the guy's back with our buddies, and I have a buddy that he and I are both on the same page. We can't just throw the guy under the bus. We just can't do it. We've known him too long. And just because he goes fucking nuts, even if he is an asshole, So I guess I don't want to even see the guy. I'm not looking forward to my next sighting of him. You know, I mean, I go into town so rarely. But the other day I went into town after having that weird conversation with him, and he was right there at the coffee shop where I go. That was like at 2 hours or so after the whole freaking conversation. I go, holy shit, man. You know, naturally I said hi to him. He just fucking ignored me. And then I got home. He had a message on my machine. Oh, my God. But I try not to get myself into situations that are no-win situations, or situations that I feel uncomfortable with. I try my best not to, and sometimes it doesn't work. You know, sometimes it doesn't work. But I never throw anybody under the bus. Can't do it. Won't do it. It was interesting, you know, when I did those, I did that video of those pieces of paper. It's really interesting how people react to different things, because I put on the title of that video, hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. And it's interesting when you title something, it automatically puts a person in a particular space where they're thinking about that. So I had in this video, at the end of the video, I started putting these things sideways. So one of my subscribers put a comment there about how that was hurt people at the end. And I thought it was very fascinating, you know, because whenever you make something in an artistic way, you know, it's like whenever, you know, the person is talking about themselves when they make comments, when they make, you know, because if you do a painting of anything and put a title on it or whatever it is, people will make comments about it, and what's happening is that you learn about them by their comments, because you've made some sort of a connection there, and that's a very fascinating thing. I'm getting a little off topic. Oh God. But I like to make some kind of a connection with people when I do something like that. And that video, it made some connections. It was very, very nice. I was glad that happened. Very happy that happened. I didn't think that I would get that kind of response on that video. So it was a good video. It was a good response video. Well, anyway, I'm stressed out because I've got stress. You know, and that's one thing that I've been doing all my life to try to avoid stress. I've got to figure out how to make a living. You know, I'm 62 years old and I'm still trying to figure that out. So I've got to figure out how to. Well, the interesting thing about it is I've got to figure out how to make something that I enjoy making, because, you know, I can't be plotting and planning. I'm too old for that. You know, I've got to open myself up to where I can do something that it comes out of creative innocence. I've got to do that, because if I plot and plan, it's going to turn into a big. It's never worked. It's never worked in the past. And you know that whole saying about if you do the same thing over and over again and you don't, you know, and it's a failure, if you keep doing it, you're insane. Well, that's what I've been doing for the last, I don't know, umpty years. I keep doing the same freaking thing with my work. making the same mistakes. You know, never settling down, never saying, okay, I'm going to work on this and do this and try to make this work. If it doesn't work, I just give up and move on to something else. It's just insane. And so now I'm in a situation where it's not like I'm looking at the Grim Reaper, tomorrow or something like that. Although, I might die before this video's finished. Somebody might shoot me in the head playing. Better make sure my door's locked. Somebody might want to come in and start playing Russian roulette, not Russian roulette, William Tell or something. Here, put this apple on your head. Kabam! Shoot your wife in the head. Can you imagine the scene? Oh my God. So, I've got to do that. And I think that once something happens, the process, I've been trying to do this for the last couple of months, trying to figure out what this is going to be. I thought that it wasn't going to be as difficult as it is because I knew that based on my past experience, I was going to be able to do something that would be enjoyable for me. And it's not happening. And I don't think it's because I'm being overly critical of what I'm doing, but I just think that what I need is to be able to find something that I can get out of bed in the morning and enjoy doing. That's all I'm looking for here. I'm not looking to make $20 million on a painting. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is to be able to get out of bed in the morning and enjoy what I'm doing and to sell some stuff and to be able to pay all my bills and be able to enjoy getting out of bed in the morning. And the wonderful thing about art is that if you can figure that out, then you can do that till the day you die. Like Cy Twombly just died recently. He was 80, I think he was 83, which I don't think is really that old. So I'm 62. So I mean, if I could figure it out, and so that that's part of the problem is I think maybe the idea, the whole concept is that I'm not supposed to figure it out. I'm just supposed to start working and then it will get figured out. Maybe that's the solution. Maybe I'm trying to think too much instead of doing. And then I get myself in a situation, well, what am I going to do? Because if you work too much, it's not going to happen. If you don't work enough, it's not going to happen. So I'm stuck. So I keep walking around in this freaking circle that I'm walking in right now, trying to think about what is that thing that I'm trying to do. So I'm going to have to start working. I'm going to have to just start getting the pain out and start doing something. Matter of fact, a friend of mine, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. He's rewriting a script right now. And so they're going to make the movie. The movie's going to be made this year. And he's rewriting the script right now for it. So this is going to be a big opportunity for him. Thank God. He's been working for a long time on this. Thank God. He's this could be a big thing for him because he will have actually accomplished writing a script for a movie that's going to be made. They're actually making the movie within a few months. They've got the actors, the director, they've got it all. The movie is going to be made. So I don't even know what I'm talking about now. Do you know what I'm talking about? Probably not very many people are going to watch this video. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Fuck. I have this friend, he says, you've been saying that ever since I've known you. What am I going to do? How am I going to make a living? And it's true. Because when you're a person that, when you don't know what you're going to do, you're always wondering how you're going to do it. That's the only thing that I miss about having a job is you don't have to figure out what you're going to do. You know what you're going to do. Like my buddy who's he's a monk. When he gets out of bed, he knows what he's going to do. He's going to pray, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. It's all laid out. But when you're a guy like me, you don't know what the hell you're going to do. You don't have the slightest idea what you're going to do. None. Because you're free. You can do whatever you want to do. So what do? Nothing. So I've got to do something. So I will start doing something. Show you this. I wasn't going to show anybody anything until it got finished, until I had something to show. But I'll show you this little experiment that I worked on, which is I can show it to you because this is not what I'm going to be doing. But this is an experiment I did. And you can see there's some things that are alike. These two things are alike in those. There's some similarities here. And that's what I was working on. That's not the piece. That was just some techniques I was working on. I was talking to a guy. It was really an interesting guy. I was talking to him. Matter of fact, I've got to send him some stuff in the mail. A guy, he makes pastels. He makes pastels. I think it's fascinating. I love it when people have cottage industries. He makes pastels. And so I was talking to him about this idea I had with pastels. And until I realized that the idea I was talking about really wasn't pastels. It was crayons. Because I thought there was a water-based pastel. Because I was thinking that a water-based pastel would be just like an oil-based pastel, except it would be water-soluble. But from what I understand, if it's water-soluble, it's more of a crayon. But anyway, the idea is a crayon. Because crayons, but not Crayola crayons. These crayons are made in Switzerland, and I guess they're more loaded with pigment. So they're probably more like dealing with a pastel, except they would dry quicker. I think that's the main thing with his pastels, is that in order for these pastels, when you use his pastels, you have to put them under glass, behind glass. Because he said they take like a month to dry, but you got to put them behind glass, and that's not something that I want. My personality would not allow me to be dealing with something that takes a month to dry and put it behind glass. That's not what I'm looking for. But it was fun to talk to him. We talked quite a bit, and it was very, very interesting conversations. So he's going to send me some pastels. And I'm going to send his wife some jewelry, so that ought to be fun to see how that goes. He's a nice fellow, very nice, very, very helpful person, very kind person. Very fun to chat with him. So that was a good thing. This video is just going on and fucking on. It is. just goes on and on and on. I'll show you this other thing. This other thing was similar to what I just got through showing you. But this is not the idea. These are like the beginnings of Prince. But that's not what it's going to be either. That's a very interesting painting. It's a big painting too. It's a big one. It's about 4 by 5, something like that. So anyway, I've been working and trying to find out what this thing is going to be. Trying to figure it out. And I've got all of these pieces here, which are pieces that I've worked on trying to get this thing together. All of these things here. All of these things under here. Things that I've worked on. Experiments that I've done. And some of them are excellent. I mean, they really are. But as I'm doing them, I'm realizing this is not it. This would work. People would like this. Da-da-da-da-da-da. But do I want to do this? And the answer is no. I don't. I don't want to do those things. But they are nice. They're good. They're, you know, if I stretched them and put them on something, people would say, yeah, I like that. I do. I like it. Like this piece here. Give you an idea about how the size of it. Give you some scale. That's the scale of this piece. So it's a pretty big piece. It's a pretty interesting piece. It's got lots of very, very interesting textures in this piece. And I like it. And I'm thinking that maybe this piece is going to be, either it's finished the way it is, or it may be the background for something else. Not sure. Not sure. I just continue to stumble around and talk because I'm stressed, and that's what I want to do is talk. And I don't like to be stressed. I like to be cool, calm, and collected, which is something that is very rare. Very, very rare. Very rare. This has got some hints of those pieces of the paper that I was laying down. It's got some very, very interesting textures within this piece. And I like it. It's a nice piece. It is. I'll show you something that's pretty interesting. I like that. Has potential. This is a book that I got the other day. Secret Knowledge. David Hockney. And it's a book that talks about how from around a little after 1400, 1420 or 30, somewhere in there, artists started to use projection devices to make paintings. And the projection devices that they discovered, this is, do your own research, were a concave mirror. That if you have a subject if you have what they figured out is that if you have like a subject that's in bright light, like right now I'm in bright light, okay, so I'm a subject. So if there's a mirror that's on me, that reflection of that mirror will reflect off of the mirror and can reflect onto a surface and give that image on a flat surface. And then you can trace that image and produce art from it. So artists have been doing that since 1430 or something like that. They've been using projection devices. Unbelievable. Blew the whole lid off of the whole art history. Blew the whole freaking lid off of art history because of this. This guy, David Hockney, who's an artist from England, started noticing these things about different things that he had seen. And so that's a good book to look at. I haven't finished the book. I'm in the process of reading it right now. It's got a lot of information in there. But it's a beautiful book. And one of the interesting things is that at that period in time, and I think it was in Bruges or I think it was in Belgium. Anyway, Northern Europe, Bruges and Ghent, or I don't know, someplace, that the artists had a guild. But in the guild, they also had the mirror makers. Now, why would mirror makers and artists be in the same guild? Because I think that they were keeping it all a secret. They were keeping it all hush-hush. They didn't want people to know how they were making these images, because the images prior to 1430 or in that time period were very, they were good, but they weren't like photographic, almost photographic, and some of them actually photographic quality paintings. And people just thought, oh, well, they just learned how to draw better. No, they were using projection devices. They were using projectors. Not like the projectors we have now, but basically projection devices. They were lenses. Anyway, this thing's going on long enough. So I'm sure there's not very many people who got to the end of this video. I'm L. Rodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.